One bullet, one rooftop, 33 hours of nationwide manhunt. On September 10, 2025, a 22-year-old electrical apprentice climbed onto a university roof with an old hunting rifle and changed American politics forever. But the messages he carved into his bullets, they're about to confuse everything you think you know about political violence. Charlie Kirk was mid-sentence when the shot came. One trigger pull from 130 yards away. The conservative firebrand who built a youth empire for Trump dropped instantly in front of 3,000 people. But here's what nobody expected. The shooter would be caught because his own father couldn't live with what he saw in a photograph. Let me walk you through exactly what happened and why investigators still can't answer the most important question. At 11:52 a.m., Tyler James Robinson arrives at Utah Valley University in a gray Dodge Challenger. He's dressed like any college kid: jeans, Converse, black shirt with an American flag. Nobody notices him. And that's the point. Robinson enters the Losey Center and climbs to the roof. Below him, Charlie Kirk is doing what he does best, firing up a crowd, taking questions under a tent. 3,000 people hanging on every word. At 12:23, Robinson shoulders an old rifle, takes aim, and changes everything with a single squeeze. The bullet strikes Kirk in the neck, blood everywhere. 3,000 people screaming, diving for cover, pure chaos. But Robinson, he's already running. Security footage shows him sprinting across the roof. He hangs from the north edge, drops down, vanishes into the woods. The whole escape takes less than 60 seconds. In those woods, he ditches the murder weapon, an old Mauser hunting rifle wrapped in a towel. But investigators find something else, something that would crack this case wide open. 4 bullets, and every single one has a message carved into it. But first, who is Tyler Robinson? Because his background makes absolutely no sense. On paper, he's the last person you'd expect. Eldest of 3 brothers from a Republican family, parents run a small granite business. They live in a 6-bedroom house in Washington County. That's 3.5 hours from where Kirk died. Here's where it gets weird. Robinson wasn't some dropout loner. This kid was brilliant, honor roll student, 99th percentile on standardized tests, won a prestigious scholarship to Utah State for engineering. Then, something changed. He drops out after 1 semester, no explanation. By 2025, he's studying to be an electrician at a technical college. His family's Mormon. He's never been arrested. His neighbor literally called him a smart young man. The first says, "Hey, fascist, catch," followed by arrow symbols. Investigators traced it. It's a controller combo from a video game called Helldivers 2, a game about fighting fascist robots. The second has lyrics from Bella Ciao, an Italian resistance song, anti-fascist anthem from World War II. The third is a furry fandom meme, the kind of thing you'd see in the weirdest corners of the internet. The fourth, a homophobic slur designed to mock whoever reads it. Governor Spencer Cox stood at a podium and read these out loud, called them cryptic. But here's what he didn't say. Investigators have no idea what Robinson really believed. Was he anti-fascist, alt-right, just drowning in online irony? The memes don't fit any clear ideology. But we do know this: Robinson hated Charlie Kirk. According to his family, Tyler had become full of hate whenever Kirk's name came up. At a family dinner weeks before the shooting, he told them flat out he didn't like Kirk or his viewpoints. Think about that. He's sitting at dinner with his Republican parents in their 6-bedroom house, and he's seething about a conservative activist they probably support. But here's the thing that haunts investigators. Robinson had never met Kirk, never interacted with him. Kirk was just a face on a screen, a voice from a podium, until he became a target. Let's separate what we know from what we don't, because the gaps in this case are massive. Here's what's confirmed. Robinson fired one shot from approximately 130 yards. He's not cooperating with investigators. There's no evidence of prior contact between him and Kirk. His roommate is cooperating and reportedly knew nothing. But here's what we don't know, and this is crucial. We don't know his actual motive. Investigators officially say it remains unknown. We don't know if anyone helped him. We don't know how he got that specific rifle, and those Discord messages everyone's talking about, where Robinson supposedly discussed picking up the rifle from a drop point. Discord says those messages didn't come from their platform. So how did he get caught? This is where it gets personal and painful. The FBI releases surveillance photos, grainy images of a young man in black, that triangle logo on his cap. They offer a $100,000 reward. 11,000 tips pour in. But the one that matters comes from inside Robinson's own home. His father sees the photos, recognizes the walk, the clothes, the way his son carries himself. Imagine that moment. You're scrolling through news about a political assassination, and you realize you're looking at your own son. The father confronts Tyler, and Tyler admits it, but he says something that chills his father to the bone. I'd rather die by suicide than turn myself in. The father doesn't give up. He calls a youth pastor they trust. Together, they spend hours convincing Tyler to surrender. September 12th, 2 a.m., 33 hours after the shooting. Tyler Robinson turns himself in. Governor Cox thanked the family member for doing the right thing. But imagine living with that choice. Turning in your own child for murder. Robinson now faces aggravated murder charges. President Trump and Governor Cox both say they'll seek the death penalty. But this case is far from over. Ballistics haven't confirmed the rifle match yet. The motive remains officially unknown. And investigators are still trying to decode what those messages really mean. Here's what we're left with. A brilliant 22-year-old from a good family threw away his entire future in 12 seconds. For reasons we still don't understand. He went from honor roll to death row, from studying engineering to carving memes on bullets, from family dinners to a manhunt. The question isn't just why he did it, but here's what doesn't add up. How does someone with no military training, no shooting background, make a perfect 130-yard shot with an old hunting rifle? Investigators think this might not have been his first time on that roof. The forensics tell a completely different story, and that's what we're diving into next.